Over the last few years, I've spent a lot of time wondering why New England states are the least religious out of all 50, and especially New Hampshire, which I believe is on top. And I was out there shoveling today, and we have um, endless snow here in New Hampshire in the wintertime. And for some reason, right now, we have snow that weighs about 20 pounds per shovel load. Uh, so one obvious answer is why? What kind of a god would create snow that weighs 20 pounds per shovel load and slides right off your shovel, and you can't snow blow it because it'll clog up your snow blower and you won't be able to get anywhere. And besides that, um, people are just doing all they can here to uh, survive the winters, and and dig themselves out from all the snowstorms, and uh, pay their ridiculously high taxes. For example, over $4,000 in a for a single wide mobile home on 11 acres with a town that offers no gas station, no store. Everything is an hour away. Everybody's just trying to survive. But I'm sure that there's a lot of reasons that go much deeper than that. Um, However, the part about a god, what kind of a god would make such conditions? Um, I think if more people would be religious if they knew about Gnosticism, because Gnosticism answers a lot of those questions. Um, so yeah, that's what kind of couple of weeks it's been. Endless snow. On a side note, I've also wondered if there's any correlation between I think we're one of the highest in heroin overdoses in New Hampshire, and one of the highest in beer sales. And I wonder if these things have any relationship to the lack of religiosity. I've heard people say that, well, more people are identifying it as spiritual and not religious. Well, to me, I don't really understand that. I don't see the difference between spirituality and religion. People get an idea about a word, such as religious, and they misunderstand what it means because of just common usage. Uh, for example, so and so brushes his teeth religiously. That means to them, that means repetitively, maybe even unnecessarily often. So I think maybe ritualistically. So I think these things are tied up with the idea of religion, and I'm not really sure why. Uh, if you look at the root word, lig, uh, as in ligaments, is to join, to reconnect with something. Isn't that what spirituality is? Is that not what people mean when they say spirituality? Um, and a friend of mine once said, if a person it, if a person says they're spiritual but not religious, he says, if you don't do a spiritual practice on a regular basis, you are neither spiritual nor religious. So, and I agree with that. And I think a lot of the spirituality that we do have here in New Hampshire is very physical. It's very health oriented. It's a lot of corruption of the Eastern religions, uh, yoga and things like that. And it's a very, I mean, there's a mental aspect to it too, even in the corrupted versions. But it's all about. It seems to be all about healing of the body here in New Hampshire. Uh, just look up New Hampshire and Buddhism, or New Hampshire and yoga. You'll see a lot of that, but it's not really religious. Um, sorry if I jump around a little bit. I didn't really write anything down, and that's kind of the way my mind works. So uh, I work in a small machine shop. Well, it's a part of a much larger organization, but I think the tool room is just 50 people or so. Um, and I've talked to a few people, and there's not a whole lot of religious people there. I have a one Baptist friend, and we have entirely very different beliefs, but we get along pretty good, unless we start going deep into things and our true feelings about things come out, and we might butt heads a little bit, but for the most part, um, we get along good. And there's one Buddhist who works there. At least it says on his bumper sticker that he's a Buddhist, so he must be a Buddhist. And we have two um, immigrants from Nepal, which have various Hindu and Buddhist traditions that they follow. But other than that, we've got a lot of people that are basically atheists, and when you die, you die. That's it, and there's nothing that you can say. I've tried. There's nothing you can say to convince them otherwise. You can give them philosophical arguments, scenarios. It just doesn't work, and I just it bugs me a little bit. I just wonder why that is. Maybe somebody who might be watching this has some idea um, about why New Hampshire lacks religious people. I'd love to hear the insights, if there might be any out there. It could be that we started out as rebelling against the norm. Uh, we started out very religious, but we were rebelling against, the Pilgrims and the Puritans and things like that, and the individuality. I don't need a church. I don't need a Catholic Church. So there's that individuality that's in our subconscious. I'm sure there's a lot of deep psychological and other things going on there. Let me know what you think. I appreciate it.